Okay, welcome everyone. My name is Rachel Garcia, and I'm going to be sharing some information with you tonight with one of my co-hosts. Then we are sharing this information with you because we know that it can be life-changing for you. So I'm going to start by telling you how I found out about this company and why I'm sharing it. And then I'm going to introduce my co-host, Josh Paskey. So my name is Rachel Garcia. I first found out about this company in 2008. At the time, I was practicing medicine full-time as a physician assistant. I saw, approximately 60 to 70 patients a day. I wrote 200 prescriptions a day. And I had just opened, my husband and I had opened two businesses in the previous 6 months. One was a construction company. One was a skincare retail store with a brick and mortar location, taxes, paperwork, inventory, all the stuff that goes into running a business. We had just had our second child. So we had a 9-month-old and a 3-year-old, and they were calling my nanny mom. And it was tearing me apart. Thus the starting of the businesses. I was trying to figure out how I could one day have residual income that would allow me to be home with my children, and was looking for anything and everything that I possibly could, telling myself they won't remember. They're little. They won't remember that I'm not here. But one day when they're 5, 6, 7, I want to be home with them. And thus the multiple businesses. I was asked by my brothers to take a look at this business. And I truly thought, I have no time. I cannot add this one more thing to my plate. There's no way I can't do it. And they said, you can give us a no. Just give us an educated no. And that made sense to me. So I went into it like, all right, I'm going to take a look and I'm probably going to say no. And within minutes, I was attracted to what this company stood for, what they were doing. I recognized it as truth. I jumped on board that night, and that was the beginning of life-changing income, weekly checks. And I'm going to share a little bit more about my story and why I jumped in that night and how it impacted our lives. But I'm going to turn it over to Josh Paskey, who, I'll let you share his story. He has had life-changing results for his family. And I know there's a lot of people tuning in tonight, specifically to hear Josh's story and to hear him present on what it is about this that is so powerful, what drew him to it. And so I think, here we go. All right, Josh, if you're here, I'm going to turn it over to you as I begin to start the presentation.
Great. Thanks, Rachel. Listen, you guys are here tonight because someone truly does care about you. They're not trying to take your money or, make money off of you. They truly believe that the information that you're going to hear just over the next couple of minutes could truly impact your life like it did mine. So right out of the gate, you do not need to be a sales expert or have a bunch of extra time or be a product guru to be successful here. It just has to really be the right time in your life. And we know we have what people are looking for as far as two different areas. We attract two different groups of people when it comes to this business model that we're going to share with you tonight. Number one, there is a health aspect. I was not as interested in the health aspect, even though we all know that the genetic pipeline is coming for us, right? So my dad had a heart attack at 52 years old. I'm 43. Blood pressure issues, cholesterol issues, all of the issues that happen within the family genetic pipeline, I know is coming for me. But that was not what I was as interested in, even though what you're going to hear tonight makes sense. Cleansing the body of the toxins and balancing the stress levels, getting our bodies alkaline, building it up with plant-based nutrition. You guys, it just makes sense. You're going to want to hear all about that. But I was interested in the income. I have always heard about finding ways to make money while you sleep. I just never knew a business model on what I could get started with to where that would be a reality for me. I remember daydreaming for an extra $1,000 a month. I would catch myself dreaming about what $1,000 a month would do for my stress levels. It would pay my mortgage. And then I went to dream a little bit further. I was like, if I only had an extra $50,000 a year on the side, on top of what I've already been making, what that would do. And I pay off debt. I would get rid of my truck payment. I would be able to, have more time with my kids to do the things that we want to do. And then I started dreaming a little bit more. What would $100,000 do for middle income America. Did you know that 63% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck? Also, half of that are six-figure income earners. So we know that people are looking for extra streams of income. It's just wise, you guys. Today, an extra stream of income is not a luxury, it's a necessity. And there's no doubt about that. So we know that people are looking to supplement their income with a business model that is simple, simple, simple. And that's what we have here, you guys. With the click of a button, we can take care of all of your health issues. Not as far as making health claims. We're not here to say that we're going to cure or heal anything with that's going on in your body, but we have heard testimony after testimony of life-changing results, not only with the health, but with the income. So to go back a little bit with that six-figure income, when I used to daydream about that $1,000 a month that would release the stress off of a single income home, right? My wife stays at home raising our kids, and I wanted her to be able to continue to do that. Well, 4 years later, not only have I fully replaced my full-time income, but we were able to get into being full-time real estate investors. We now have 12 rental properties. We've been able to stay at home full-time with our kids simply because of the business model that you're going to hear about tonight. It's simple, simple, simple. And so you guys, think if you were to refer people to Amazon or Costco or to your favorite movie that you've watched, or a restaurant that you love to go to, and you got paid for it year after year after year. Think about the income that could produce. We refer things all the time and don't get paid. I like to talk about Pure's model, comp plan model, as a consume and refer business model. What do I mean by that? Well, we do consume life-changing products with this company, which you're going to hear about in a minute, but we also refer those products to other people and can make an income that you could only dream about here. So let me tell you what makes Pure different here, you guys. And I've looked at business models all across the globe, right? I'm very passionate about real estate. There's something about real estate that pays passive residual income, but not everybody can get into real estate. So also there's other streams of income from the stock market, which is very scary right now. There's different ways that you can make passive income, but this one is different because it's simple and it's consumable. Every age, man, woman, children, animals consume our products. Have you ever seen the people out trying to sell the jewelry or the Tupperware or the rainbow vacuum cleaners, which you purchase one time and make a one-time commission? Well, with our model, it's different because every man, woman, and child, every age consumes what we have, and it actually is making impact in their life. With our product line, you actually feel a difference. And Rachel's going to go more into that in just a little bit. And so the business model makes sense, and it's what sets us apart from a lot of the different companies that are out there. This company's 15 years old. We've passed the test of time. The business model is recommended by some of the most brilliant millionaire, billionaire minds, including Tony Robbins, Richard Branson, my mentor, Robert Kiyosaki. If you haven't read the book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, go get it. If you haven't listened or by Audible or read the book, Cash Flow Quadrants, go read it. This business model can give you the capital and the liquid cash needed to get into the investor quadrant, which brings freedom, you guys. That's what this is all about. It really comes down to timing in your life. Are you at a point that you're looking for a shift and for a change? We know that most Americans are. Over 60% of Americans are on at least one prescription med. 63% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. And what really makes our model different is leverage. When you go to your job and you work, okay, you're probably trading hours for dollars, or you have a crew of people that are out working if you are a small business owner. But if you don't show up to work, you're not getting paid. The beauty of this business model is you have a team of successful 6- and 7-figure income earners that are out showing you how to duplicate this system through simply consuming and referring. Again, you do not need to be good at sales. You do not need to be a product expert. You don't need to have a whole bunch of extra time. You simply have to, again, be at a good time at your life that you're ready to get your questions answered, make an educated decision, and then let's go help some people. So the leveraged system is you have myself and other successful leaders in this company that are out showing your team how to duplicate this simple system of inviting people to a presentation, just like you're looking at tonight. So the leverage is what interested me, was how simple it was to share a presentation. So Rachel's background as a physician's assistant, also with her master's degree in clinical studies, is going to take it through the power of the product that we have here. And I think you're really going to be excited, because everybody with a body is going to need the product that we have, but everybody that's ready for a change in their life can certainly use the income that's available through sharing. So Rachel, come back on, share a little bit about the power of the products.
Thanks so much, Josh. And so you guys are getting to hear from a variety of speakers tonight. Obviously, I am in the healthcare background. I'm a physician assistant. I practiced medicine for 20 years and walked away from practicing medicine in December of 2019 because I found a better way to help people. Quite frankly, that's why I walked away. I'm going to say it right now. Prevention is better than prescription. Then you've got Josh, who's a real estate investor. We attract people from all kinds of life because there's, like he said, 100% of the demographic needs to be taken care of, the number one asset they have. You know, we live in multiple houses, we have multiple cars, we have multiple phones, but we treat all of those things most of the time better than we treat our house. And then when it hits the fan and all of a sudden you have a bad diagnosis, it's, oh, what can I do? And a lot of times we go in, you know, for our servicing, we go into the doctor and they do tests and then they write us some prescriptions. I was the one who wrote the prescriptions, found a better way, guys. And we should be treating this as our number one asset. And I came to that conclusion in 2008 when my sister's son was diagnosed with severe autism. And I sat with her at the doctor's when they said, he will never speak. He will never have more than the mind of a 3-year-old. And I had a 9-month-old at the time. And I had a lot of questions. So I started putting to use my master's degree in clinical research, and I just started researching like crazy. And that's when I understood the importance of treating this like the asset it is that we can never replace. And I started really getting into nutrition. Multiple clinical studies have been published on the power of nutrition. And there was a lot of theories out there that from my research seemed right on, that the lack of nutrition and the toxins in our food and our environment are what were causing a lot of the problems that we face as humans. And so I was intrigued by how the company started. That was what really caught my attention. When I first took a look at this, what they were speaking about, I recognized as truth immediately because of the research I'd been doing for my nephew. So they were using the system of cleanse, balance, build. Josh talked about it already, in a clinical practice with patients for 30 years. That's a long time. And I thought, I cannot out-research 30 years. The results were so good that they had a 3-year waiting list for people to get in and on the products. And that's how the company started. They said, instead of buying shelf space, paying marketing firms to do billboards and commercials, we're just going to pay people that like it to talk about it. And that's how it started. And I said, I'm in. I mean, I recognized truth immediately. I knew that we were toxic from the plastic water bottles and the herbicides and the pesticides and the fungicides and the guys spraying our food with all this stuff, and they're wearing hazmat biohazard suits. And we're eating it. Cancer rates are skyrocketing. Microparticles of plastic have been found in almost every American's bloodstream. Why is cancer rates skyrocketing? Because we're being poisoned. We sit all day long. Sitting is the new smoking. We're staring at our phones. We're not moving enough. We're not getting enough sleep. We're eating too much sugar. And we're severely lacking in nutrition. You're severely lacking in it. Your kids are lacking in it. You might think, oh no, I'm doing good. Okay, are your kids doing good? Is your spouse doing good? Maybe you think I eat organic, I eat really good food. Just so you know, Journal of Nutrition study shows that half of our kids are not getting the nutrition that they need. But this study, well, this is eye-opening. Years ago, 12 years ago, they did a study showing that if you eat 8 oranges, you have to eat, I should say, 8 oranges, 80 cups of spinach, 99 ears of corn, and 2 cups of wheat to get the same nutrition our grandparents got from their food in 1960. We're not getting the nutrition we need. We have to do better. because again, this is your number one asset. And when it's time to take it in for a servicing, there are signs: fatigue, bowel issues, hair is falling out, nails are brittle, pain in your elbow, you have a rash and you don't understand why. You need to cleanse, balance, and build. I was trying to do all this on my own. I had the garden, I had the juicer, I had the most expensive healthcare products because I was doing all my research. Most people don't have the background I have in research. Most people don't have the time or the money to go buy the expensive stuff or figure out which ones are the best ones. I was doing all that. Wasn't seeing results, but I wasn't really expecting results. We now have a medical advisory panel of medical doctors who recommend these products in their office because they know prevention is better than prescription. Many of our products are in the physician's desk reference. That's what we've used to write prescriptions our entire careers. And here's the deal. Company offers over 50 products. I have figured out in 15 years of sharing this that the starter package is key. We have a few different starter packages, but the Core Plus is the bare minimum because this package cleanses the toxins, the 7 channels that we eliminate through lungs, liver, skin, lymphatic system, kidneys, blood, intestines, all need to be cleansed. So we're cleansing all of that out, and then we're pouring plant-based nutrition in that gets your body in an alkaline state, helps it get to the pH that it's supposed to be at. So it's not operating in this acidic disease infection state. It's operating, humming right where it's supposed to. This is your servicing. This is taking your body in for a servicing so that it will operate the way that it is supposed to operate. That is powerful. You can pick and choose, but what I would expect if you pick 2 or 3 things on this page, maybe I'll try the omega-3s because I've heard those are really good for the mind and for focus and for sleep. Maybe I'll try the sulfur because I've heard that's good for pain. I will not be surprised if in 2 weeks you're like, yeah, I don't really notice a difference, because you need to cleanse, balance, and build. We have a 93% repurchase rate when people start with our Core Plus or our Core Complete. If you're over 40, or you're struggling with things like you're on prescription meds, or maybe you're like the closet over the counter person. You've got your Tums and your Advil PM and your Flonase and your Claritin and all your stuff in your cabinet that if somebody's talking to you about health, you're like, fine. You can't lose weight to save your life. You haven't slept through the night in years. Core Complete. That's where you need to start. The average person who does this for 30 days says they feel better sleep. That was totally me, by the way. More energy, pain reduction, better bowel habits. The stories we've heard from people with their bowels improving. Bowel issues are a serious problem in this country, and we don't talk about it. You don't go out with your girlfriends over a glass of wine and like, I haven't pooped in 7 days. We don't talk about it. We don't walk around with signs that say, my child is struggling with depression. I don't know what to do. Your child's not struggling with depression because there's a lack of Prozac in his bloodstream. That's not the problem. He's toxic. He's out of balance and he's lacking in nutrition. Better mood, weight loss. This is what typically is seen in the first 30 days. They have a 30-day satisfaction guarantee. You have nothing to lose. Take your body in for a servicing and give it what it needs. It's more important than your car and your phone. Because I will tell you, you can get to a point where you can't buy your health back. Decades and decades and decades of problems. But this is powerful, powerful stuff, guys. People are attracted to this for the income. And I'm here today telling you, I've started to really share this for a number of different reasons. But in the beginning, I recognized the power that it can have on people's health. My boys have been consuming the products since they were toddlers. This is what we do. We do superfruit shots. We do our vitamins. We do our immune products. We do our superfruits every single morning. This is my youngest. You just saw him when he was 8, drinking the stuff down. People go, oh, my kids won't do that. Oh, yes, they will. Mine used to dry heave over the sink and say, I can't do it, Mom. Now they do it without even thinking about it. My kids get more nutrition in 30 seconds in the morning than their whole class gets in a week. The little guy you just saw is now 15. He now makes a smoothie every morning before school, gets all his nutrition in. We have training sites, you guys, where you can see all the different ways to get your kids to eat it. How do you make that smoothie? How do I get it in my kids' breakfasts in the morning? We've got all that stuff for you. You also can learn tons at purelifechangers.com. We have the doctors educating on the products, patients, people talking about their results. As Josh said, we're not making claims about what will happen for you, but prevention is better than prescription. If you're taking supplements and you cannot tell when you take them and you cannot tell when you don't, you need to give Pure a try. If you're spending money on prescriptions, if you're spending money on supplementation and you cannot tell a difference, you need to give this a try. Okay. Or maybe you're listening to this and you're like, I don't spend any money on supplementation. Do I need to? Yes, you should be taking care of your number one asset. If you're on this page, Changing Lives with Pure. It's our Facebook testimony page. You can use the search box to look up anything you're struggling with from real people who are sharing their testimonies. If you're not on this page, ask whoever invited you to add you to the page. Now, I started out with this, you guys, for the health. I did not see it as a business. The startup cost was less than my monthly overhead for my skincare store. Okay. I didn't see it as a business. We saw tremendous results, sleep issues resolving, constipation issues for my son resolving, my husband's depression issues gone in 6 weeks. I lost 32 pounds in 3 months. And my autistic nephew went from nonverbal to speaking in full sentences in 3 months on this system. I was convicted and I knew I had to share it with others. And so I began to share it, and I began to hear these tremendous testimonies, and I began to get checks, little checks, $50, $80, $400, $1,000. It was just checks from people purchasing from me. It's kind of like I was a vending machine and they were purchasing from my website. Okay. But then Aunt Betty, she couldn't walk past the front door. She was tired all the time. She had brain fog. She starts taking the products. She's now walking around the block every night. She's meeting the neighbors. She's saying hi. She remembers their names. They're asking her, "What are you doing, Betty?" So now she's sharing with her neighbors. They're purchasing from her. Now Aunt Betty's getting testimonies in her neighborhood. Now Betty's getting a check. Mind blowing for me. Now I'm not just helping Betty and her health and Betty and her friends' health, which is what I did as a PA. I helped whoever saw me every day, but I can only reach so many people. I can only touch so many people. Now Betty is touching people that I never knew. And now Betty's getting a check. When you help people earn weekly checks, you guys, what are you doing right now that if you spend 30 minutes a day on it, 5 days a week, it'll pay you a weekly check for decades and decades and decades to come? That's what we're really good at here. So this is just an online website that meets the next $1 trillion industry, which is health and wellness. And everybody knows it. What makes it different? Our stuff works. It works. We have a 30-day satisfaction guarantee. This company didn't start because a bunch of guys got together and said, health and wellness is the next $1 trillion industry. Let's create some products, formulate some products in a lab and hire some scientists. No, they were already using it in clinical practice. It goes back to Genesis 1:29. Everything you need comes from the ground for this amazing machine to work the way it's supposed to work. And there was so much demand, they decided to start a company. I joined because of the ease. Click of a button, it's coming to my house. I am in. Powerful, powerful. So you can go to livepure.com right now, throw whatever you want into your cart. The family pack is what I started with, what Josh started with. I'm a family of 4. I had my sister and her son as well. If you have a family of 4 or more, you need the family package. Don't get products just for you. Get it for your whole family. I'm not here today because of my weight loss and my bowel issues and my sleep. I'm here because my nephew is speaking. I'm here because of my husband's results 6 weeks in. Look at the Reset Plus. It's a powerful system that resets your metabolism, gets your metabolism burning fat while using the Core Complete products. When you go to check out, it's going to ask if you want to join now and be a PC preferred customer. Yes, you do want to do that. Basically, you give them your email address, you get 25% off. Be sure to put the name of the person who invited you. If you're listening to this and you're attracted to the additional income stream, you're worried about the price. It's for you. You are concerned about money. Please look at the independent business owner option. If you're not doing something 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week that can pay you a check for decades to come, please look at this. I'm sharing this with others because of what I've seen it do for people. My checks grew and grew, and then they started to match what I made as a PA. I was spending like 10% of the time doing this that I was doing on my PA career that I spent 8.5 years to be able to practice medicine, $100,000 in my education. And this matched it with like 1/10 of the time. My trick, if you will, was I was persistent. My nephew's results were so crazy, so amazing to me, but I just kept calling somebody every day. I don't know if this is for you or not. I found something. It's amazing. You got to take a look. I just called every day. And checks come in weekly. And then it matched my PA income. And then it surpassed my PA income. Prevention is better than prescription. $49 to become an independent business owner. It's waived. There's a few different ways that can be waived. If you start to build a customer base, you can make really whatever you want to make. $400 if you have 10 customers who order consistently, $1,000 if you have 20 customers who earn consistently. This is what I was making in the beginning. And then it just started to grow. And that's because I started to create teams. Because people like Betty start popping up all over the place. If you know 2 people that you're thinking right now, I know 2 people that need to know about this. So I'm going to tell you, 15-year-old company. We've been around for 15 years. Less than 60,000 people in the United States even know that this company exists. And this is exploding in Korea. It's exploding in Thailand. In the United States of America, we have an employee mentality. People find it too good to be true to be able to spend as little as you can spend here to get started on a real business. We send you all the training you need on your phone. It's all on your phone. Literally in 30 minutes a day, you can get trained in the first 3 to 4 days and then begin inviting and begin creating checks within days of you getting started. Think of it like this. You're only building 2 teams. There's a lot of you on tonight. Whoever invited you tonight probably invited 20 people. Okay. Let's say you're like, I'm in. I mean, I work all day. I'm a teacher. My life is crazy this time of year, but I'm in. I don't have another stream of income. I know I need to get healthy. Let me go. Right. So let's say you're Bob, right? Bob comes in. You go to work tomorrow, Bob, school all day long. But Beth was on, Leah was on, Kristen was on, Linda was on. And Josh is like, well, I only have 2 places to put you guys. I'm going to put Kristen on my right leg, Bob on my left leg. Beth is going to go on Bob's team. Leah is going to go on Bob's team. Beth gets excited, invites somebody to our webinar tomorrow. She signs up Brenda. Bob is getting all these emails while he's at work. Beth, join your team. Leah, join your team. He's like, what? I haven't even told anybody. What is going on? See, Josh is building your team for you while you're doing other things. That's the whole leveraging time thing, guys. And that means that if Beth and Leah and Brenda place orders, they will go into a savings account for Bob that he can cash in on as soon as he begins to share this with others. That might be in a month, it might be in a year. Meanwhile, Josh is going to keep building that savings account. So if you're watching this and you're like, I think I want to get involved, and there's more people on this presentation than we've had on a presentation in the last 5 days, text right now and say, I'm in. I want my position. $49 to get started. All right, that's waived if you're in the military or you're a student. It's also waived if you come in with one of our business packs. The monthly overhead is cheaper. It's so cheap than my skincare store's monthly overhead, the brick and mortar real business that people want to get involved in. My CPA looked at this business and said, this is the best business you've ever started. He was right. It's about $150 a month for your health, okay? Your overhead, you're literally eating. So set up your smart chip order when you get started. It doesn't go through for 28 days. You can cancel it with the click of a button. Unlike a franchise where you have royalty fees, contracts this thick to sign, monthly overhead for your lease of your shopping complex space. None of that here. You want to quit tomorrow, quit tomorrow. Your hands aren't tied. You can do whatever you want to do. Then you go place your first order. You can start wherever you want. But guys, if you're looking at it as a business, $2,500 is the most you can spend. In fact, you won't even spend this because we have a 20% off coupon to give you, which will make it $2,000. So, whoa, it's $4,000 worth of products for your whole family for $2,000. Don't think of it as I walked into a health food store and bought $4,000 worth of products for 50% off. Think of it as you just started a business for $2,000 that you can write off. Cheapest business you've ever started. This gets you into our VIP mentoring program. It obviously gets you the training that you can do on your phone 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week, but it also plugs you in with our mentors and our leaders who lock arms with you to take you to the next level. And you get 4 of these to share with your friends. Another business package that's a great option is our Reset Plus. This is for 2 people to do the Reset program for 6 weeks. It's again, it's $2,000 worth of products for $14.99. Then with the coupon, it's $1,200. Is massive. Okay. This gets you again, the training on your phone. It won't put you in the VIP program, but it's a good starting place. And I want to encourage you, stretch yourself a little bit. If you're feeling uncomfortable with the numbers, good. It'll make you start the training immediately. You can start wherever you want to. You can start with the Core Plus if you want to for $289. That's just for you. Okay. With the goal in mind, I'm going to go make my money back as fast as possible. Whatever you come in with, if you start inviting people, guys, and 4 people do the same thing you do, you've made your money back. Basically, you just got all these health products that your family's going to use for free. And now you're in the positive and you're able to start creating this cash flow, this positive cash flow that has allowed Josh to pay off his debt in 6 weeks. He paid off all his debt and then he began purchasing real estate. Now has 12 passive income real estate properties he's been able to purchase because of his pure passive income. Someone said to me today, I'm not passionate about it like you are. You don't have to be passionate about it. I mean, there's people who sell dog food who aren't passionate about it. There were females who came into my office and sold Viagra. They weren't passionate about it. They did it for work. They did it for a job. Okay, I'm very passionate about this. But what else are you doing? If you spend 30 minutes a day on it 5 days a week, it will pay you weekly checks for decades, right? That gives you the freedom to do what you are passionate about. So go to livepure.com, guys. Throw what you want in your cart. There is no cap for what you can make. You can make whatever you want to make here. And I can promise you this. If you're listening to this tonight and you do nothing, The next holiday season is going to come around. You'll be a year older. Hopefully you won't be in more debt. Hopefully you'll start a different, if this is not the business, hopefully you start a business. You get involved in something, okay? You start taking better care of your health. But you guys, they have a 30-day satisfaction guarantee. Look at who invited you. Ask them their story. Why did they invite you to take a look at this? It's life-changing information. I'm in Montana tonight. I'm about to get off this presentation and go into a live room with a bunch of people who've already seen this presentation a number of times, and they're starting to talk and tell people. Our leaders travel around to lock arms with you. I know Josh is speaking live in Albany on Thursday night. We travel to speak and to share because we're so passionate about helping other people. That's what this really is all about. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Get your questions answered. Get back to the person who invited you. Let them know your interest level. Let them know where you're at. And check out purelifechangers.com, you guys. I hope that we get to meet you and work with you soon. Good night, everybody. Take care. God bless. Bye-bye.